Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Of course, welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, my name is Alex, lovely to meet you. I am constantly posting beauty related videos, so if you'd like to join my little family here on the internet, I would really appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button and also put the notification bell on so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now, today's video, I know I did a whole palette week last week, but I didn't realise that this launch was coming on this weekend, so I am uploading another eyeshadow palette review. I hope you guys don't mind. Tomorrow's video is exciting because it's going to be a P. Louise beauty box unboxing, so make sure you stick around for that. Today's eyeshadow palette review is going to be on the new Jeffree Star Cremated palette. Now, firstly, before I even get into the eyeshadow palette review, I know there is a huge drama going on at the minute with him. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not interested in any drama. I'm literally here just to review the eyeshadow palette. I'm here to talk about makeup. I don't really care about any sort of drama. I don't maliciously not buy makeup because of the person who owns the brand. Like, if I love the makeup, then I'm going to continue to purchase it. You guys know I have an obsession with Jeffree Star Cosmetics as a brand. Their makeup is amazing. I have so many of their eyeshadow palettes. I have now their like concealer and powder. I'm a huge fan of the brand, so this was no exception for me. I was 100% going to buy this palette, even though despite it is very different to his other eyeshadow palettes. But we are here to review his new one. So the new palette is called Cremated. Again, I know there was huge drama with the name because it was bad timing. I don't know what to say, like, that is just Jeffree Star at the end of the day. He always says things like this. I think he has a lipstick called Deceased. Like, that's just his personality, and obviously he felt like this was a good name for the palette because of the colour story. But I do love the packaging. I do, however, wish that this packaging was on the actual palette because his face is on the actual palette, but this is what it looks like. So this palette retails for £55, which I believe has been his most expensive palette. I think Jawbreaker was like £54, so for some reason this is £1 more expensive. I'm not entirely sure why. But yeah, I love the packaging of the outside. It's just this packaging, like, obviously it's his face. Like, if he wants his own face on his palettes, that's fine. But I just wish that the outside packaging was on the actual palette, but what can you do? So this is the packaging. This is just the makeup look he had for the campaign when he was filming, and obviously this whole grayscale represents what the actual palette looks like. I'm sure you guys have seen this. It has a mirror on it, but you can actually bend it backwards, which I like. And this is what the palette looks like. So as you can see, it's got absolutely no pops of colour in it. It literally goes from white to black and has so many variations of grey in it. If I just show you a close-up, that is what it looks like. The reason I picked it up is because I do feel like it is unique, especially for Jeffree Star. I don't get why he said that no brand has ever done a palette like this before, because there are tons of cool tone palettes on the market, but not like a huge one like this, I don't think. He has his like amazing foil formula. I think he has about 7 shades of that, so I'm excited to swatch these as well. So yeah, that's the rundown on the Cremated palette, and I obviously will be doing a tutorial of that. I do also want to quickly show you this as well. I know there's a huge drama with Shane Dawson as well, but we can ignore that for this video. I bought the new Mini Controversy. I already had this palette because I had bought both palettes when it first launched. However, I really wanted the green single shade, but Beauty Bay did not stock it. So within 5 minutes I had sold my old one and I bought the Emerald edition. So this is the new Mini Controversy. It has the green lines running through it, and this is the one that actually has the green shade in the middle, which I'm very excited about. However, I am slightly annoyed because they've still kept that Diet Root Beer shade in, even though that's in the big Conspiracy palette. With the old one, they actually took out a shade that's just in this palette, so I'm not really sure why they've done that, but yeah, they've put the green shade in the middle and it's called Put It Back. I will also swatch this when I swatch that whole palette, so that's just to let you know. I think this retails for £27. Yeah, that's pretty much a rundown on the palettes. I'm now going to go ahead and swatch the whole of the Cremated palette just to get a bit of a feel for the pigmentations, what the swatches look like on the skin, and then we can jump on into the eye look. So these are the first 2 rows swatched. These are the darkest shades in the palette, and I'm quite surprised there are quite a lot of variations in terms of grey. Like, it is a big palette and you'd think they don't need as many like grey shades in here, but they definitely have like different undertones. Some of the shades look so similar, but they generally all look so different. This black I thought was going to be so much more pigmented than that, but you know, I had to build that up a couple of times. But apart from that, everything else is super pigmented. And these like foily shades are the like new formula he has like in his Bloodlust palette. So I'm impressed with the swatches so far. And then these are the 2 bottom rows. So these shades are extremely light, but they do all have different undertones. So they are definitely different. I know some of the shades do look like slightly similar, but they do all have different undertones, and this shade here is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and those are all of the shades swatch from the Cremated palette. I must say I am always impressed with his swatches, so I'm really excited to try this. Let's go ahead and dive straight into the eye look. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. I'm just going to take my usual P. Louise base. This is in the shade Rumour 01. So I'm just going to take my usual brush, the JS11 by Morphe, and I'm going to blend this primer out, or eye base. And as per usual, I'm just going to pat it in place. I don't want it to mess with my like foundation or anything, but I do want it to dry down because this does crease on me, unfortunately. That was oh, hello. That was kind of satisfying, but not really, because I'm not good at that. Okay then, we're gonna go super dramatic, which you know is not a bit of me. I'm not a cool tone girl, and I know that. I'm all about pops of colour and everything, but I did just want to get this because it's so like different for Jeffree Star, and I feel like it fits in really well with his other palettes because it's so different. So I'm gonna start off with the black in the palette. Wish me luck. It is called Hearse. I'm going to use the mirror in this palette. Oh my god, I forgot to swatch it for you. What a div. So this is the green shade called Put It Back, which was like stirred up a whole thing because everyone wanted it. And oh my god, look how beautiful that is. Like, why did they not put that in the original mini controversy? Like, I just don't know. Look, and the pigment continues. Like, oh, I'm so excited. I need to do an eye look incorporating that green. As I said, we're going to start off with the black in the palette. I'm going to take the tiniest amount because I don't play with black eyeshadow a lot because I'm low-key really scared of it. There is a little bit of kickback in the pan actually. I'm just taking it on a small pointed brush. Going to start by putting this in my outer corner. I'm just going to pack it on because it's not like super black when you first put it on, but I am going to pack it on, and I am taking a tiny bit at a time because I'm just like scared for my life. But I'm just going to take it like halfway to my lid, and I'm probably going to stop there. I'm also going to start to take it on my lower lash line just so I can connect. Okay guys, so I've just packed on the black. I don't know if it's just not because I'm not taking so much pigment, but it's not like super jet black. It is a really dark grey, like edging on black. But if you pack it on, the more pigment there is, obviously. I'm now going to take a more like dense fluffy brush, and I do want to take a like more dark grey. So I think I'm going to take this one called Solemnly Swear. Solemnly. Oh mate, I can't say that word. And then I'm going to blend out the black with this. I don't want to take it too up high because I will blend this shade out as well. Let's take life insurance first. If I need to darken it up, I will. So this is the shade dark life insurance, and it is just like a really pale grey shade, more on the warm side, I'd say. It's more of like a warm grey. Oh, that works absolutely fine actually. I was worried that that wasn't going to blend that shade out because the shades are really different, but they blend out really nicely. Also, I am noticing that there is kick up in every shade that I've used so far, so just to let you guys know that in case it bothers any of you. And I'm just going back in with that second brush. I'm not putting any extra product on, I'm just taking my time and blending out that shade just so it works a bit better. I'm gonna take this shade down here. It's more of like a khaki grey. It's called Obituary. I've no idea what that says at all. So I'm just gonna take it on the brush again. There's kick up, and I'm going to blend that at the front of my lid. And then I'm going to go back in with my blender brush. I'm not putting any extra product in it. I'm just blending at the top of my lid just to blend them together, I guess. I might actually take a little bit more of life insurance and blend it at the top. So I'm noticing that they are blending really well in with each other. Sometimes when you pack too many shades on, they can go really like muddy depending on the shades, but I'm having no problems so far. I'm now going to do a half cut crease. I'm going to use my P. Louise and Mitchell blank canvas paint. You guys, I said in Sunday's video when I did a Lottie London review, this stuff is amazing. It's honestly a game changer for cut creases, so if you've not got it, you need to get it. And I'm going to do a half cut crease again because that's all I know I'm good at. Okay, so I've done my half cut crease. I am going to set it just because I found the blank canvas, it can be a bit, because it's so thick, it really creases on me. So I'm going to take the pure white in this palette called Death Blow. I'm just going to set down the cut crease. Okay, that's all set down. Now for the fun part, I'm going to take this beautiful shade called Diamond Ashes. It's the palest, like foily shimmer and just like shimmer in general in here, and it's absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to put it on my eyes. Now I can't remember if I needed to wet these or not, so I might have to take a better brush than that. I don't think this brush is going to work. Okay, so I've put all the pigment on now. Definitely works so much better with a more flat synthetic brush. I've now got all the pigment on there. It is very fallouty, so just to make you aware of that. If you're going to play with the more foilier shades, definitely do your eye makeup first. I now want a darker shimmer to blend in with the black. I think I'm going to take Mortuary Beautician, which is this one here. It's quite a dark grey shimmer. Again, just going to take that on. Okay, that one picks up on the brush so much better than that Diamond Ashes shade. And I'm just going to blend this at the end of where that silver is and just blend it in with the black. And I'm going to go back in with the black just to intensify this and blend that in with the, like, it's like a gun metal shimmer. Okay, we just need to finish the lower lash line. So I'm going to take this grey here called Eulogy. and I'm going to blend that at the front of my lower lash line. And then going back in with the black just to intensify the outer lower lash line. Okay, last step for the inner corner and brow bone. I'm going to go in with this shade here called Afterlife, which is like a normal shimmer shade. And it's a really pale, like champagne-y shade. It's really pretty. Okay guys, so that is all of the eyeshadow on. I'm going to hop off camera, put my lashes, mascara on, and then we'll be back to discuss my final thoughts. So guys, this is the completed look. I used the Unicorn Cosmetics Peachy Pie lashes, and my lips are a Jeffree lipstick. This is the shade Yes Ma'am. It's just a very cool toned neon pink. It could still be available on Beauty Bay. I'll have to double check, but it's just a neon pink shade. I just thought I needed to brighten the look up because my eye look is very dramatic and dark. Let's finally discuss my final thoughts on this eyeshadow palette. So for starters, this is very different for Jeffree Star Cosmetics in particular. All of his palettes normally are bright and colourful and have loads of variation of colours, or like Bloodlust or Blue Blood. It's all specifically one shade. This is a complete cool toned eyeshadow palette, so it's very different for me as well in particular, because I am usually a pop of colour, warm toned girl. I'm not typically a cool toned person. I don't usually wear them a lot really, like it's a very, very rare occasion for me. But that is why I like this eyeshadow palette, because it's different, not just for Jeffree, but for me as well. As a customer and as a consumer of makeup, I can't think of one cool toned eyeshadow palette I have in my collection. Now, do I think that you need to spend £55 on this palette in particular to get a cool toned palette? No. You don't need to spend £55 on this. Guys, if you don't have the money for this palette, then don't stress about getting it. It is a cool toned palette. You can get those. We do have them in the makeup industry. They're so much more cheaper than this as well. I don't think it's something you necessarily need in your collection if you have other cool toned palettes. I do, however, like the variation of cool tones in this palette. I do like the fact that he has different kinds of greys with different undertones. I think that is quite unique. I do love, absolutely love the more chunkier foily shades. He does have 2 or 3 in his Bloodlust, whereas most of the shimmers in this palette have that formula. I think barring one or no, there's a few that, no, there's about 4 of them that don't have the foily sort of shimmer. This one is a lot more chunkier than the other one that I used, which was this one, but it still completely worked in the end, and they are super pigmented. I never have a problem with Jeffree eyeshadows. His brand is one of my favourite brands in terms of eyeshadow, as well as like Anastasia Beverly Hills. You just can't go wrong with their eyeshadows. They're so pigmented, they blend out so easily. I was worried because there's so many different variations of grey that they weren't going to blend well together, but it worked an absolute treat, and I love the look I created today. So you don't necessarily need this in your collection. I'm not going to say to you, yeah, go and spend £55 on a cool toned eyeshadow palette, because you don't need to. It's not revolutionary. There's tons of cool toned palettes on the market. This for me is just a first, and because I love Jeffree Shadow so much, that is why I wanted to purchase this, and I'm very glad I did, because now I feel like I have a cool toned option in my makeup collection. I feel like if you're a Jeffree collector as well, like myself, this will be a great addition to your collection because it is so different from his other palettes. So guys, that rounds up my final thoughts on the new Jeffree Star Cosmetics Cremated palette. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button. Let me know down below what you think of this palette, and did you buy it? 'Cause I'd love to know. Of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!